Okay, welcome to today's session of Leadership Management and Governance. And in today's session, we are looking at conflict. So when we talk about conflict, this is the question that we are looking at. You are the nursing officer at your hospital. The in charge in outpatient department reports to you that she is not in talking terms with the in charge for pharmacy. You decide to resolve the problem between the two in charges by coming up with a decision that will resolve the conflict. We go straight to question A. Question A is saying state 5 common causes of conflict. When we talk about conflict, the first common cause of conflict is communication issues. Now, with communication issues, this is where there is misunderstanding, lack of clarity, or ineffective communication that can lead to conflict at the workplace. The next question, question 2, is different goals. The next cause of conflict is different goals or priorities. Now, when individuals or departments have conflicting objectives or priorities, it can result in tension and conflicts at the workplace. The third one is personality clashes. When we talk about personality clashes, this is where there is differences in personalities, values themselves, or working style, and this can lead to friction and conflict between the individuals themselves. Apart from that, resource allocation, and with resource allocation, this is where now you have disputes over limited resources such as the budget, staffing, equipment, and this can lead to or cause conflict, especially between departments. Apart from that, perceived unfairness. And when we talk about perceived unfairness, this is where individuals feel unfairly treated or overlooked, and it can lead to resentment or even conflict at the workplace itself. So that is about question A. Question B is saying describe the 5 conflict resolution method you'd use to resolve the conflict. So in terms of conflict resolution, the first method is negotiation. Now, negotiation, this involves facilitating a discussion between two parties to find a mutually acceptable solution. For example, discussing workload distribution between the outpatient department and the pharmacy to address the concerns. Apart from that, the next method is mediation. Mediation involves a neutral third party to help facilitate communication and find a solution. And this mostly could involve a senior mediator from maybe HR department or a senior manager to come in and resolve the issue between pharmacy and the outpatient department. The other conflict resolution method is collaboration. In terms of collaboration, this is where you encourage the two parties to work together to identify the common goals and find a solution that benefits both departments. For instance, collaborating on a joint inventory management system for medication between the two departments, and this can help. The fourth one is compromise. So in terms of compromise, this is where both parties may need to give up something to reach a resolution. And this could involve finding a middle ground in terms of procedures or responsibilities between the two departments. The fifth one is escalation to higher management. Now, escalation to higher management, this is where now the conflict persists, involving now a higher management to arbitrate and make a final decision that may be necessary to resolve the issue between the two departments. So that is all about question B. We can talk about question C. And question C is saying describe the problem cycle that managers can use to solve a problem. Now, when we talk about the problem cycle for managers, the first stage, it talks about identifying the problem. So on identifying the problem, you need to clearly define and understand the nature of the conflict or the issue between the two in charges. Then from there, you move on to the next stage, which is generate alternative solutions. So on generating alternative solutions, this is where you brainstorm potential solutions or approaches to resolve the conflict. And here you even consider the needs and perspective of both the parties. The third one is evaluate alternatives. Now, on evaluating alternatives, you assess the feasibility, the effectiveness, and potential outcome of each proposed solution. The fourth one is implement the chosen solution. Now, implementing the chosen solution, here, this is where you put the agreed upon solution into action, ensuring that clear communication and accountability is promoted or maintained. The fifth one, which is the last one, is monitor and review. Now, on monitor and review, this is where you continuously evaluate the effectiveness of the chosen solution, making adjustment as needed and addressing any issue that may arise. So that is about question C. The last question, question D, is saying explain any 5 functions of Nursing and Midwifery Council of Zambia. The first function of Nursing and Midwifery Council of Zambia is regulation. Now, regulation, this means that NMCZ, they set standards and regulation for the nursing and midwifery practice in Zambia itself to ensure quality and safety. The second function is licensing. This means that NMCZ, they issue the licenses and certificates to qualified nurses and midwives, allowing them to practice legally within the country. The third one is accreditation. When we talk about accreditation, NMCZ accredits nursing and midwifery or education programs to ensure that they meet the required standards for training future healthcare professionals. The fourth one is professional development. NMCZ provide guidance as well as support for continuous education and professional development opportunities for the nurses and midwives. The fifth one is ethical oversight. When we talk about ethical oversight, it means that Nursing and Midwifery Council of Zambia enforces ethical standards and code of conduct within the nursing and midwifery profession. They also investigate complaints and taking disciplinary actions when necessary. So those are the functions of NMCZ. And that is the end of our question today. Till next time, goodbye.